and welcome to Whiskey with Rye. I'm Rye. Whiskey I'm with this week, Buffalo Trace. Here on Whiskey with Rye, we'll talk about the distillery, the mash bill, and the nose and taste three different ways: straight, with water, and on the rocks. As you can guess, Buffalo Trace is from the Buffalo Trace Distillery, the same distillery that makes Blanton's, Weller, Pappy Van Winkle, the entire Buffalo Trace Antique Collection, obviously. So George T. Stagg Jr., William William LaRue Weller, something like that. And they made these brands for a long time, and then they're like, we should probably have our name on a whiskey so people know where it's coming from. It's not an actual stop on the Bourbon Trail in Kentucky, but it is free and you do get tastings. So it's definitely worth it. And they make a hell of a bourbon cream, which is really good in coffee if you like coffee. But I prefer it in root beer for basically the taste of a root beer float. So Buffalo Trace is 45% alcohol, 90 proof. The mash bills from all of Buffalo Trace's products are kind of a highly guarded secret, it seems. All we know is that this is mash bill number 1 that they use, which is less than 10% rye. So it's going to be really high corn and a little bit of rye, a little bit of malted barley would be my guess. So, as always, there we go. That's a good one. We are going to pour our whiskey for our nosings and tastings. And as always, we have our handy dandy Glencairns to help us pick out the nose profile. Back. So, jumping into the nose on the neat or straight whiskey, you definitely get that corn on the first hit on the nose. It smells a bit shiny. As weird as that is to say, that's the best way I can really put it. And kind of on the end, it turns into a nice sweet butterscotch. But yeah, really a lot of corn and butterscotch right on the end. So we will jump into the taste. So the first sip there took me a second to place it. Um, just like caramel corn, which I was not expecting. So kind of the nose notes translate into the taste, right? Going back to it, you get a little bit more of the oak, some of the wood flavors and tannins, um, and it drinks very dry. Like it kind of dries your mouth out a little bit, but still, especially for I think around $30 a bottle, an extremely nice, extremely good whiskey, especially neat. But Buffalo Trace, is one of those you can really do whatever with it, especially cocktails, that kind of thing. It'll hold up to it. So we actually are going to use this for our rock spore. So we will use this one for the water. As always, just a couple drops. Go. Just to open it up a little bit. The water, and this may have been there previously without the water, but it smells like dusty old leather. Like an old leather jacket that you find in the closet. So it has a really rich aroma. Maybe a little bit of buttered popcorn right at the end. So wearing your grandpa's leather jacket to the movies with buttered popcorn at the movie, I think is kind of the best way I can describe that. Let's jump in. So the water opened up the sweetness on the front. Get a lot more caramel than I did previously. Also get a lot more of the wood showing through. Yeah, I mean it doesn't change that much, which is kind of nice, right? Proofed it down probably to about 80. No, not even that far. Probably 85 proof. Still enjoyable. Still very enjoyable. It doesn't disappear. Like I said, it stands up to the water. So now, I have my handy dandy Yeti. Different one this time. But we will. Maybe. There we go. Pop in an ice cube or a rock, as you can see. Oh wow, so that really pulls out the rich butterscotch. Really rich. Sweet butterscotch. With a hint of like sea salt or ocean water on the end. So that first sip, a lot more of the wood was present. Didn't really get any of the sweetness. And there's like a salty component, almost like a brine, right at the very end. It gets kind of spicy, like not black pepper, but like a wood spice. If that makes any sense? Yeah, it just as much sweetness as it brought out on the nose, it hid all the sweetness on the taste with the ice. So yeah, I mean, I'll go straight with water and on the rocks in order of my preference for it. But again, that has been Buffalo Trace. Uh, if you liked the video, please make sure you like and subscribe. And if you want notifications for when we go live, new video goes live every Wednesday, make sure you hit the bell. So until next week, cheers.